What's up, folks, and welcome to another episode of Real Amigos. I'm your host, Chris. I just said Chris this time. That's good. And I am joined by Donnie. If you guys listened last week, I completely messed up my name, and now it's in the back of my head. Every time I want to say my name, I got to be sure I don't say Christ, because that is not good. We're glad that you...
Got to be a hard name, though, is Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson.
Like, that's got to be tough for that guy. Like, what's your name? Chris.
Yeah. Funny story. So my wife is named Christy, and so somebody was telling a joke to a couple at our church when they introduced us. They were like, "Oh, well, this is Chris and Chris," just being funny because that's our names. But they took it literal, and for the last 10 years, call my wife Chris as well, and which is fantastic. You know, you do that thing where you go out of your way to try and help them find the truth themselves, you know, where you're like, oh, I was just talking to my wife, Christy, you know, Christy, my wife, you've met her.
Let me write you a check with my name on it. There it is. They never caught on for real.
They never caught on. Yeah, they're still like, "Oh, how's Chris?" And I'm like, "I'm doing great. I don't know."
I'm fine. Why are you talking about me like I'm not here? I'm right here.
I don't know. Are you asking about Christ or Christy? Like I'm just confused. But
here's a true story for you. You're one of two Chris and Christies that I know.
Really? Oh,
there's a Chris and Christy in my church, which is interesting. But
there you go.
So anyway.
There you go. See, small world. Hey, just next time you see them, just start calling Chris, start introducing them to new people as this is Chris and Chris.
Chris and Chris.
Yeah. Just see if it catches on. All right, guys. Real Amigos is a movie show. It's not really about our names, even though sometimes we do talk about our names. And so we come on, we talk about movies. That's what we do. If you're here, you probably know that. If not, welcome. Tonight we're going to do another episode of what we call Yearbook, where we break down kind of a year in movies and what it meant to us and like highlights of that year, so on and so forth. We're going to be talking about 1994, and so we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But as always, up at the top of the show, we just like to, see what's going on. So let me tell you what me and Donnie did. Donnie came to me it's probably been a couple of months now, and said, I forget what we were talking about, but
we're talking about great TV.
Yeah, we're talking about good TV shows. That's right. And he brought up Band of Brothers, which was an HBO scripted series, but all based on true events based on a specific company in the military. It was executive produced by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. Great cast. You have Tom Hardy in there, Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, like a ton of people, great people. And he's like, have you seen it? And this is a show that probably 90% of the people that know me, if they would have asked me, they would have assumed that I had seen this show. It's that kind of a show. But at the time it came out, I didn't have HBO. It wasn't readily available, and I just kind of missed it. And it was one of those things that you think about, sometimes somebody will make mention of it, and you're like, oh, I should go back and watch that, but you just never did. Now, thankfully, in the age of digital, we can get, the things that we want in various different, services or ways or whatever. And so it's much easier to come by. And so Donnie's like, we should watch this together. And we did. So it took a couple of weeks. My life has been a little crazy. But we started watching it, and we stayed pretty close together, watching an episode as we could every night or so, and kind of chatting back and forth about it. But we've watched all. So there's 10 episodes. We watched all 10 episodes together now with Band of Brothers, and I thought it was fantastic. Like, I have no idea, what
man.
Yeah, I know. Again, it was one of those things that I never like actively avoided it. It was just never, had I been like browsing Netflix one day and it would have shown up, I would have probably watched it. But it was just never on any of those services, and it wasn't just readily available. And so it just was one of those things that didn't really kind of come up until I made a point to talk about it and go out and find it. I
saw it the first time by Netflix DVD in the mail. That's how I saw it.
Oh my gosh, you just blew the mind of most of our listeners. If you're listening here, you don't understand Donnie isn't speaking in tongues.
I think they still do it. I think Netflix, if I'm not
really,
I think they will still send you DVDs or Blu-rays in the mail. I mean, you pay extra, but as of a couple of years ago, they were still doing it. I could be wrong.
Bonkers. That is crazy. Well, I have stopped my Netflix membership. This is the first time
as have I. I don't have Netflix either.
Since Netflix. So I originally had Netflix as a DVD service.
Yep.
Like we've been members since, what was that? 2001, 2002, some crap like that. And then one of the very first platforms that they adopted the streaming to was Xbox. And so I had an Xbox 360 around 2006, 2007, something like that. They launched the streaming platform there, and it was amazing, and it took off. And so I've just always had it. I mean, I've been a member since whenever that is, 2001, 2002, whenever that was. Like, I've been a member since then. But I'm just kind of done. I just where they're going with a lot of their shows, I don't want to go. I'm definitely going to miss Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror probably more than anything. But outside of that, no huge loss. I do miss a lot of the comedy. I do like the comedy stuff. So I'm going to miss that. But yeah, Netflix is done. But anyway, so Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers was fantastic. I started at the beginning. It was a very slow start. I was very confused by what was going on and by who was who. And I was worried that it was just going to be not good. And having kind of built it up, talking to various people, but especially Donnie and knowing how much he liked it, I was really afraid that I was not going to like it. And we were going to have that weird, awkward conversation. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a great thing that you liked. It was really not that good. Kind of like we had last week about Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers. I was thinking Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers.
But I will say, by the time the credits rolled on the last episode, I was in tears, and it was phenomenal.
That 10th episode is stinking yank out your heart.
Yeah.
And it's brutal. I mean, those dudes are awesome, man.
Yeah.
Those guys, you and I are sitting here talking about movies. Those guys saved the stinking world, dude.
I know, yeah.
Like, they really, literally saved the world. It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Now here you go, Chris. Here's a little old-fashioned stuff for you.
Okay.
I own the Blu-ray set of Band of Brothers, and on the bonus disc, they have an entire kind of bonus episode with just interviews with all those dudes.
Oh.
And some of them go back to Normandy, and it's really like, you think that was like brutal, that just that 5 or 10 minutes of those guys, that whole thing is just like nonstop. Like, holy cow, these guys are amazing. So it was great. The thing that I love, like it's heartbreaking and also like encouraging, is like they don't all have happy endings, right? So again, we're spoiling a show that's 20 years old or whatever, right. 15 years old. But they do this thing at the very end where they kind of do those, screen recaps of what happened to the people. Yeah. And some of them were just like, hey, he went back home and was a mailman and died of a heart attack. Yeah. And it's like, it's just one of them disappeared like 10 years later in a boat.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That was Weber. Yeah.
Webster. Yeah, he was gone.
Webster. But what I find encouraging about that is, like, it's just a testament to the human spirit. It's like these guys came together in a time of need to, just like you said, to save the world. And none of these guys were supermen. None of them had Captain America super serum. But they did the job and they survived, and they came back, and they just lived life. And we could have probably sat by them or talked to them at some point and just never knew that they were freaking supermen. And I love the last scene of the show. Oh, he just and I don't have it written down verbatim, but he basically just says, people ask me sometimes if I'm a hero, and I always say no, but
but
I served in a company.
I served in a company of heroes, yeah. And of course, I have tears in my eyes while he's saying it because it's just it's true and it's powerful and it's just real, and that's super
great. It's one of the best things ever made. I love it. I love Band of Brothers.
Yeah, it's really good. Highly recommend. Anybody who's not seen it, I have now seen it, so I am. I can.
I think that was probably about my 6th time of watching it.
Yeah.
I break it out every year or two. I break it out and watch it again.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it again. One of the things I said to you was having seen it now. So one of the hard things about watching it is that you go through a lot of people. There's a lot of people that just die. And again, that's great, right? It's not scripted. So like if they die in the second episode because they died in that part of the war, then they just died, and there's no like, oh, well, we can't kill Tom Hardy because he's, or whoever it is, we can't kill, this guy because he's super popular or whoever it doesn't matter. It's like, if you're playing Jim and Jim dies, at Bastogne, well, you're going to die like that. And that's what's great. But now having seen it and known like the pillar characters and some of the people that make it through, I really want to go back and rewatch it again. And I probably will sooner rather than later, just because now as I'm watching them in the earlier episodes, I'll have more of an understanding of who they are.
Did you figure out any of the old guys who they were while you were watching the little clips at the beginning?
So I got what was the main guy?
Winners.
Yes. So I got Winners, and then I got Malarkey. Those are the only two. Those are the only two. So
all right. Yeah. Well, here's a thought for you. They have a follow-up called The Pacific?
Nope. Had no idea of that.
Are you serious? Same people. They made it. It's the Japanese, the Pacific Theater of the War.
Okay.
And it's 10 episodes. Real, same deal. Real story. So we'll have to check that out, you and me, soon.
Yeah. Do this. If you guys would like to have have us do like a special like offshoot podcast, and you would want to hear our thoughts on that, let us know. It would take some more time, but I would actually be happy to sit down and kind of do that with you, because I enjoy, I would like to talk about it more, but we got to move on.
I'm with you.
But I would be interested to watch that too. So that's Band of Brothers. That's kind of our chit chat. We need to move on. Anything on your side? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, real quick. So I am on I came across an old magazine that I had the 100 greatest war movies ever made. Now it's a little out of date. It's about 10 years old now, but so I'm on a little bit of a tear watching these war movies, trying to tear through this list, and I'm about 8 in. So I have a long way to go, and some of the titles are a little obscure.
Okay.
So I may be hitting you up for some of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If I can find them.
It's fun because it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just, I'm a list guy. Like, I think lists are fun. And but anyway,
does it have are they ranked? Or are they just?
They're ranked 1 through 100.
Okay, so what? So I would. So now I haven't seen a lot of movies, but of the movies that I've seen, I think Saving Private Ryan would have to be my favorite war movie of all time. What is number one?
Their number one is All Quiet on the Western Front from 1931.
Never heard of that.
Really? It's a classic novel. It's
never heard.
Yeah, I just watched it. It's one of the ones I watched. It's it's pretty good for 1931. I mean, you keeping all that in mind, filmmaking techniques and stuff, but it's pretty good. Saving Private Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the list here, but I think that it is. Actually, I do have the list right here. Saving Private Ryan is number 8 on their list.
Garbage. You need to tell me the 8 movies in front of Captain Barbara.
Okay, here you go. All Quiet on the Western Front, Paths of Glory.
Never heard of it.
Das Boot.
I have heard of that. I haven't watched it.
Letters from Iwo Jima.
I have seen that. That is really good. That's
great. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Alexander Nevsky. I've never heard of. I haven't seen it. Lawrence of Arabia. I have seen.
Wait.
I would disagree with their ranking.
So I guess that is a war. Okay.
Yeah, this is all kinds of wars. All wars.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then number 7 is called Grand Illusion, which is, I believe, a French movie.
Yeah, never seen that. Okay. All right. So that's okay.
Anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm kind of plowing through that right now.
Very nice. Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge?
I have. I've seen all but the last 10 minutes of it.
What happened? Oh, was that
it kind of crapped out on me, and I never got to go back. So I need to go watch it again.
All right. What about I love We Were Soldiers. That was
great.
Mel Gibson, great movie. So I like Flags of Our Fathers as well.
Tremendous movie.
Flags of Our Fathers and Iwo Jima, and they were both great.
They're both great.
Yeah, man. Good. Okay. All right. Let's get into the show. There you go. War movies. We'll be updating you as we watch. I may have to watch some of these war movies too now that you're bringing it up. So now coming off of Band of Brothers, that would be fun. We are here to talk about 1994. Now, before we do this, just a real quick recap. We decided to do some different things in the show. One of the things that we kicked out was the idea of doing Yearbook. This is fun for me. I think Donnie enjoys it. We hope that you guys do. Let us know if you don't like it. If this is just something you don't like to listen to, we don't want to waste our time. But it is kind of fun just to take these little snapshots of years past. And so what we do is we just break down a year and we talk about, I'm actually going to go over some current events just to kind of give you a mind frame of where like our country and where the world is. Again, just very high level stuff. And then we're going to spend our time talking about the movies. We'll talk about who won awards, what the box office was, that kind of stuff. And then we'll talk about our favorite movies of that time. Donnie gives our superlatives at the very end, which are super fun. Super fun. So I always like to hear those. So that's what Yearbook is. I picked 1994 primarily because our first yearbook was on 1984. And so Donnie said it was Donnie wanted to start there because he considers it the greatest year in movies.
Greatest movie year, man.
And so I am more of a 90s kid. I'm a little younger than Don. And so most of my memories, especially of being in the theater, not necessarily, I have a lot of memories from 80s movies, but most of those were obviously at home and stuff. So my recollection really comes from like 90s movies. And so I wanted to do something in the 90s. And I was reading a stat, and we'll talk about it in a second, but Jim Carrey, not a stat, but I was just reading through some stuff. And Jim, like the movies that I love, all three of Jim Carrey's first huge hits, all hit in 1994. That stat alone just blew my mind.
It is the year of Jim Carrey, my friend.
It is. So I guess it's so weird being involved now with this kind of stuff, and the fact that we have like social media and Twitter and everything is just like right at our disposal. I don't know that I was aware of just like how crazy that was. And like I said, I wasn't even cognizant that all three of these came out in the same year until I was reading through it, going back through it. So that's kind of how I landed on 94, is really because of Jim Carrey. But there's some other great stuff in 94. We'll talk about it. But that's kind of where we settled. So that's it, 1994. So let's talk about just real quick. I'm going to go over just some basic stuff for you. And then Don, I'll probably let you read the box office, so I'm not just talking too much. Okay.
All right.
So that's written down as well. So let me give you the review. Here's some things you want to know. 1994 annual household income is $37,070. All right, a gallon of gas costs $1.09. A movie ticket in 1994 cost $4.08. What was the last price you paid for a movie ticket, Don?
It was $10, I guess. Over $10, $11.
Yeah, so that's about where we are. I think it's like 1043, which is a dumb number. Why has it got to be like that? I think that was the last number that I paid. So we're more than double the price of tickets in 1994. Now I will say that we tried the theater closest to us. If we go to the very first showing of the day, which is normally around like 11:30, we can get in for like $6, or I think it's like $6 for kids, $7.50 for adults. So that's and that's like first run stuff, not like the dollar theater. That's like opening weekend we can get it.
Are there still dollar theaters near you? Because I don't have any here.
There is one. It's not near. I mean, it's probably about 25 miles. But I mean, if you want to pay the extra money for gas to go, you can buy it.
Man, I have not been to a dollar theater in probably 25 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they were super popular for a long time. Of course, you know they were always the ones where you would walk in and your feet would kind of stick to the ground because they just never really vacuumed or anything. And there's something special about those places. But yeah. Okay, here you go. Clinton was president. This was the year that that Tanya Harding wins the National Figure Skating Championship, but then she was stripped of her title because she went and whacked Nancy Kerrigan, which brought up
allegedly,
which brought up the movie I, Tonya. Did you ever watch that?
I have not seen it.
Dude, I almost going through this. I almost went back to try to watch it before we did the show tonight because I wanted to. I actually heard pretty good stuff about it. And I like Margot Robbie, so I wanted to check it out. But basically, it's kind of Tanya Harding's side.
They have ESPN did a special, an episode. I think it might have been their 30 for 30 stuff on that. It's really good. It's a fascinating little story.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy. Anyway, so that happened. I remember that. Nelson Mandela elected president of South Africa, right? That was a huge thing. You know, having Mandela elected. Brazil won the World Cup. So also in '94, Lisa Marie Presley married Michael Jackson. This was
match made in heaven. By the way,
this was proof that Elvis was in fact dead, because had he been alive, he would have probably killed both of them. Kurt Cobain committed suicide in '94. Yahoo and Amazon were both founded in 1994.
I did not know that.
Yeah, isn't that cool? The Sony PlayStation launched in 1994. Friends premiered in 1994. And of course, how can we forget O.J. Simpson fleeing in a white Bronco in 1994? We could never forget. Hashtag never forget.
Hashtag never forget.
And also hashtag follow OJ on Twitter.
Holy cow! Follow OJ on Twitter.
Also don't, because it is infuriating that a man who murdered people can just walk around and say whatever he wants on Twitter. But also follow him because it's hilarious to watch people respond to him, because it's just the best.
It is the best.
Look, I wasn't going to follow him, and the very first comment that whatever he put out in the video, I was like, I can't do this. And then I looked at the very first reply, and the very first reply said, "Hey, I just found out that my wife is cheating on me. What should I do?"
Oh no!
And I was like, I've got to see how this plays out. So,
holy cow, man!
So that's the thing. All right, so there you go. There's just some topical stuff about '94, just to give you a mind frame of where we're going. We're gonna jump over to Donnie. Donnie's gonna give us the box office report. So these are the top 10 movies by gross. Now it's just.
I'm gonna go backwards or forwards.
I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
All right, I'm gonna count it down backwards. Number 10, Clear and Present Danger.
Okay, dude. Okay, sorry. We'll get back in there. Sorry.
$215 million.
It's good.
Number 9, Interview with the Vampire.
So good.
That was a little Tom Cruise, a little Brad Pitt, a little bit of everybody mixed in there. $223 million. I do not remember that movie being that big of a hit, but I guess it was. 4 Weddings and a Funeral at number 8. $245 million.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my gosh.
Classic. Revisit our episode on that. $247 million. And number 6, The Flintstones.
Dude, the Flintstones was legit, man. The Flintstones was legit.
Was it?
It was so
$341 million. Were any of these dollars your dollars, Chris?
There was quite a few of them were my dollars.
At number 5 is Speed with Keanu Reeves at $350+ million.
Yes.
At number 4, as Chris mentioned earlier, the year of Carrey is The Mask at $351 million. At number 3 is our boy
Arnold
James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger together again. And they in a movie called True Lies.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. I love that movie too. So good.
I have not seen that in a long time. I really want to see it.
Yeah,
but
we'll have to do that. Yeah,
$378 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2 and number 1 just really absolutely crushed the competition.
Yeah.
I mean, brutally. Forrest Gump at number 2, 677 plus million. That's like 300 million more than True Lies.
Yeah, man.
And True Lies was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So good grief.
Yeah.
And then at number 1, it's almost like deja vu. Because literally right now, this week, this movie is number 1 at the box office.
That's right.
The Lion King with $763 plus million.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I agree. So there you go. That was 1994, man. The top 10.
I love The Lion King. Before we start breaking down some of these movies, let me give you the awards, which if you haven't been paying attention, you probably could already guess them, but here they are. So again, we just give you like the main ones. We're not going to go through all of the awards, but we'll start with Golden Globes. So Best Film for Drama went to Forrest Gump. For Musical or Comedy went to The Lion King. And then the Best Director, the Golden Globes, went to Robert Zemeckis, Forrest Gump. Best Actor went to Tom Hanks for Forrest Gump for drama, and Hugh Grant for Weddings and a Funeral. Hugh Grant won a Golden Globe for 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I don't know about that. Best Actress at the Golden Globes went to Jessica Lange for Blue Sky, and Jamie Lee Curtis for True Lies. Jamie Lee Curtis was fantastic. Also, side note here, I did not know that Robin Wright was Ginny until I was researching for this episode.
Princess Bride fame.
Yeah, well, I was thinking more of House of Cards fame. But yeah. So here you go. So here's and so that was the Golden Globes. Your Oscars are Forrest Gump for Best Film, Robert Zemeckis again for Forrest Gump for Best Director, Tom Hanks for Best Actor, Forrest Gump, and then for Best Actress, the Oscars actually went to Jessica Lange for Blue Sky. So you got that crossover there. So there is your awards, and that's again just for kind of the top 4. So I mean, clearly this is Forrest Gump's year,
Sure.
And so let's just kind of start there. I mean, we're gonna definitely talk about Jim Carrey, but Forrest Gump, man, Forrest Gump was fantastic.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't see it in the theater. I didn't see it, I think, for a little while after, and I enjoyed it. It's weird to me that it made that much money. I guess I'm just surprised. I don't know. I think I like Forrest Gump less every time I see it. It's one of those movies for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I think he wears on me. Like eventually it's like, Tom, stop doing that. We all know that's not, I don't know. It's one of those like.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. And saying that I haven't seen it in a while. I always kind of didn't like the way it ended.
I hated it.
And I still stand by that. I feel like that it was pretty awful ending. And it's one of those weird things. I think even today, people feel like for a movie to be great, it has to like do this weird thing where it ends abruptly, or it doesn't have like actual resolution, or leaves it to your imagination of like what could be. And I just don't really, I don't know that I like that. Like I understand the trope, but like for instance, last week we talked about Terminator, right? Terminator left it wide open for you to wonder what the world was going to be. Sarah Connor's driving off pregnant. Even though we kind of know the future, we don't know what's happening. But they wrap up that story.
Yeah, that plot line is the end.
Yeah, it's like total resolution by the end. But like Forrest Gump, they spend this entire movie, with this back and forth with Jenny and him trying to understand what human emotion and human love is. And
I know what love is.
I know what love is.
That's a terrible Forrest Gump, by the way, by me.
Jenny. You're going to need some clean sheets, Jenny. So, so, so they spend the entire movie trying to reconcile these two people from completely different worlds, and that they can find unity, and then they just straight up murder her at the end, and it's just I know that's the reality, I guess, but bro, I do not go to the movies to watch reality. I mean, I wanted to see him, fall out of a tree, bump his head, and then turn into like Einstein or something. That's
yes.
That's what I go to the movie. Yeah, that's what I go to the movies for. So
I was more bummed out that they killed Bubba than Jenny.
Oh, I know.
She deserved what she got. She was a scumbag.
I know. You got shrimp salad, shrimp scampi, shrimp burgers. you can make anything with shrimp. I do love it.
Forrest Gump's all right. It's a highly watchable movie.
Yeah, I like Gary Sinise too. As Lieutenant Dan, he's good. Okay, all right. So anyway, I figured since that was like the hallmark, we should probably talk about that for a sec.
Sure.
And the other big one was Lion King. Do you have any interest in seeing in the remake?
Nope.
Did you
I didn't see the original until probably 10 years ago.
What?
It was one of those movies, just like Terminator, for you. It was like, you know what? Everybody talks about stupid Lion King. I need to watch this movie. I need to see what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And it was a cartoon about a lion. So there you go. That was my take on it.
They didn't really bury the lead. It's in the title, right? It's the Lion King. He was a lion. Yeah. So
it was that.
Yeah. Sometimes I worry that you don't have actually any human emotions, and then I think you may actually be a Terminator.
I may be. I may find that out one day.
Yeah. Well, so if your name's Sarah, just don't hang out with Donnie. All right, Sarah Connor.
Nope.
Okay, so let's just kind of go to so now it's just whatever. It's just crapshoot. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Jim Carrey? Let's talk about Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey had 3 movies. Let me ask you this: what was the funniest of the 3 movies?
You're getting into my superlatives now.
Okay. So then maybe not. Let me ask you this: if you had to watch the 3 movies, if you had to kill 2 of them and only keep 1 to watch for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
The Mask is out.
The Mask is garbage, man.
The Mask is definitely
now. Hang on. As a kid, and I say kid, I mean I was an early teen. As an early teen, seeing The Mask was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was goofy, he was obnoxious, but teenagers are goofy and obnoxious. Like that makes sense. Now, trying to watch it now, there are some funny gags, and there's some. It's okay, but it is not the same level that I remember it being. Mask is out. Mask got to go.
Yeah, agreed. Cameron Diaz was good in that though.
She was great.
Man, this is tough because I could watch either one of Ace Ventura or Dumb and Dumber. I could watch a lot. I mean, gee.
They're both. They're both great.
I'm probably going to give it to Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber, and that's just a coin flip. I would have to go with Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I love Ace Ventura, but there's just something about the dynamic between him and what's his face?
Harry. Yeah.
Jeff Daniels. Yeah. There's just something about the dynamic between them two. Because who do we have in Ace Ventura? Like Courtney Cox, right?
Courtney Cox.
Isn't she the lead? And she's whatever.
Tone Loc.
That's right. Even though I think Jim Carrey delivers a masterpiece performance in being Ace Ventura, I just think the dynamic of those 2 lead characters in Dumb and Dumber is just unmatched.
I remember watching. I didn't see any of those at the theater, but I remember watching the opening of Ace Ventura when he's carrying the package.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Rescue the dog. And it just slayed me, man. Watching him just walk, just beating that thing up in the elevator and just doing handstands on the package, like bashing it up.
He does that elbow
like,
drop at one point.
Oh, yeah, and you're like, what is he doing? Like, what is happening? And then he goes to the door and he's like, sounds broken, you know, like he does that. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, who is this guy, man? I didn't realize who he was. And yeah, it's great. Great comedy.
No, he's crazy. And he
is. And now he's really crazy, like literally.
Now
insane.
He's a lunatic.
Funny.
I can't wait. Next year, he's going to be in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie as the villain. I can't wait. Like, that's literally the only reason that I'm even remotely excited about that movie, because I think he is going to be bananas pants, and I'm all for that all the time. He's going to be like Ivan Ooze is what he's going to be, and I'm in for all of that. But yeah,
actors always do this stuff. Actors always do this thing where they start out, you know, comedians. They start out funny, like Tom Hanks did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they're zany and funny, and they have some great stuff. And then they try to get all serious, or they do get all serious.
Yeah.
And then you're just like when I watch a Tom Hanks movie now, like he's getting ready to do Mr. Rogers' Welcome. What is it?
Gosh, it looks so good.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
No, isn't it a beautiful? No, it's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it's like I see that, I'm like, you know, okay, whatever. But then I'm like, dang, I'd really like to see like you know, splash Tom Hanks again, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I
would love to see that.
I mean, I miss this Jim Carrey. And I think that's
what I mean.
A valid point.
Like, you watch Jim Carrey now, you're like, who are you, man?
No,
where's Ace Ventura?
Yeah. And it's like, and I don't, why does that, like, I don't understand how he could make an Ace Ventura movie right now, and I would
want to be taken seriously.
I would leave my house at 12 o'clock at night and drive to a theater and wait in line to watch a new Ace Ventura movie first thing in the morning. Like, I just absolutely I would give my money to it. I guess you're right. I mean, they want to be taken seriously, but
which is funny because they are actors.
Yeah.
Their living is basically pretending to be other people. So we all take that seriously. But anyway.
So he led the year with that. So I mean, that was really, and now that wasn't his first movie, but that was his first breakout. So the very first like time that you recognize who this person is that scene that you're talking about. And you're sitting in a theater having no idea who this guy is, because even the few movies that he did before this, he was not banana pants like he was with Ace Ventura. And when he's looking at the thing, and you know, Scotty. Like that whole I need more powers. I can't do it.
It is crazy, man.
Good. And then when he does the scene when I kissed a man, that's
just hang tight, save it, save that.
Anyway, that's a great movie. Okay, so let's go through some other another highlight. What else? What do you got? 94.
Well, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
On 94. Okay. 94 is a weak year for me as far as
I'm going to start picking some of these movies. This is perfect.
Yeah. This is a year that I'm not very caught up on. Here's a few of the movies I have never seen from that year.
Yes.
You ready? Here you go.
Yeah.
I've never seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Okay. It's not great, but that's fine. People love it. I did.
I know. I hear nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Hudsucker Proxy, which is a Coen Brothers movie that I really want to see. I've never seen it.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Really? It's got Paul Newman in it, Tim Robbins. Anyway, I've never seen Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I have never seen.
It's slow.
I've heard it was slow.
Yeah.
And I heard Tombstone was much better.
Yeah.
Which it's great.
I agree. So. I agree.
I've never seen, Little Giants.
Oh my gosh.
Rick Moranis. I've never seen it.
And Ed O'Neill, come on. That is a Donnie movie right there.
I know. I've heard great things about it, but I've never seen it.
It's hilarious.
I have never seen The Paper with Michael Keaton and Robert Duvall and Glenn Close, a whole all-star giant cast. Never seen it.
Never heard of that.
I've never seen Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is part of the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Never saw that. I don't do scary movies.
I've never seen Legends of the Fall.
Okay, so this is the Brad Pitt movie, right?
It is one of the Brad Pitt movies. There
Never
was
saw
also A River Runs Through It, which I have
I
seen.
never saw any of that. Anything with like wilderness and Brad Pitt, I'm out. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I don't want to see like I don't want to see the tree. I don't want to see the tree of life. I don't want.
I don't want to see that either.
I don't want to.
I do want to see Legends of the Fall though, because I hear it is good.
Whatever.
I tell you what though, A River Runs Through It. I don't know what year that was, but that is actually a legitimately good movie.
Whatever.
I've never seen Street Fighter.
Dude, Street Fighter is so bad, but Van Damme's in it. Van Damme is in it, and he's so bad, and it's great.
I've never seen Bullets Over Broadway, which is one I hear a lot about, a Woody Allen film.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
And I've never seen a documentary that came out that year that I really do want to see, but it's very long. It's like 4 hours long. It's called Hoop Dreams. It's about 2 high school kids wanting to play basketball, I think, professionally, but it tracks them. And it's renowned. It's won, I think, some awards and stuff, but I've never seen it. So, that's a few movies that I've never seen from that year that I'd love to see someday, but haven't got to it.
This is a good segment, which I should add some to mine, but I have not seen like hardly any movies anyway, so my list would be way longer than that.
I've never seen the Flintstones either.
Dude, you're freaking kidding me right now.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, the next movie spot movie is Flintstones.
Please, no. Please give me something better.
Dude, I love the Flintstones. Oh,
it's got Rosie O'Donnell in it, man.
It does, dude. And Rick Moranis is in it.
And Rick Moranis.
John Goodman is in it.
Who's in it?
Barry is in it.
I know who's in it.
I love the Flintstones.
Please give me something meatier and better.
Okay. I'll put Flintstones on hold, but we are watching Flintstones at some point.
Great. Wonderful.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Right. I cannot tell you how much I love Flintstones. I had all the McDonald's. They had these great McDonald's toys where they were like little buildings. So like they had like the little restaurant. It had like their little house, and then the back door would open, and they came with little cars. So they had the Flintstone, the regular Flintstone car, and they had Barney's car, and they had that little red speed, like sports car that he buys in the movie. And dude, I had all of them. They were great. And they had, and this was back when McDonald's did these really cool things where they would make glasses. So I had these mugs, and I had all. I think there were 6 of them. I had all, and I actually think I still have all 6 of them. I'm gonna find them if we do movie swap. I'm gonna find them. And we're gonna have them here. They're gonna be great.
Oh boy, I'm glad I brought that up.
I love. I love Flintstones. So good. Okay. So I can tell you a couple that I've never seen. So I've never seen Beverly Hills Cops 3.
Yeah.
Is that not a good thing?
It's not great.
All right. I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
Great movie.
I've never seen Blue Chips.
Not good.
And I think that's about it for like the big ones that I wrote down. So I've seen a lot of this. I really love. So let's talk about things. So let's just kind of go highlights, and then we can kind of wrap. We'll do our superlatives and stuff. So I really love. Let's see. I mean, I love a lot of these. I really like Clear and Present Danger. So we had those Clancy. So there was like it was a trilogy, right? That we did with
October. Then you had Patriot Games, then you had Clear Present
Danger. So I thought all those were great, but specifically I like Harrison Ford. So I like Patriot Games and Clear Present Danger. I thought were really, really good. Very, very, very fun. I remember fondly Time Cop with Van Damme. Awful movie, but I remember. Not a good movie. I remember it fondly because I loved Van Damme at the time, and time travel. I was always a big time travel fan. I thought, this is the greatest thing ever. And
it's not on our time travel list, is it?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we try to stick to actually good movies on our.
Okay, good to know. Well, no, wait. We did watch Flight of the Navigator,
which is
not entirely true at all.
Which is a great movie. So I don't understand.
Carry on.
This is the year that Santa Claus came out. This is to this day is a movie that we watch every year with the kids. That movie holds up. Tim Allen is just hilarious.
I'm surprised that movie wasn't in the top 10. I thought that was a pretty big hit, but it probably was, but just not good enough. But
I wonder because I think it's all retro, So like even if it made money like in a January, I think they still count it towards the total of the film. So yeah, I would assume that it's also like really seasonal, right? Like Lion King probably lasted 2 or 3 months in the theater, but you're not going to go see a Christmas movie in February, So
yeah,
so
that's a good one.
That may be why. But like the whole first part of that movie where he's Scott Calvin, I just love it. He hates everything, and he's just like a self-absorbed jerk, and I just so good, man. He's funny.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's really good. Major League 2. What do you say on Major League 2?
Not very good.
I love Major League.
Major League is fantastic. Major League 2 is.
I think Major League 2 was one of those movies that they played on TV a lot. So I remember watching it a lot, and I think it's I do like it, but yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to the original. But nope. I do have a soft spot, for that. What about? Did you see Immortal Beloved?
I did not. That's another on my no watch list.
So this may be one that we can watch, and this is a great movie. And it's Gary Oldman playing Beethoven. And so,
really?
So kind of the overall understanding of this is that when Beethoven died, Beethoven left everything, and this is a true story. He left everything to his immortal beloved, and so the movie is trying to answer the question of who that actually is, but. That's the framework, but it is a straight up biopic of Beethoven. So you meet Beethoven before he loses his hearing, and then you're dealing with him while he's losing his hearing and trying to understand his craft while also losing his hearing, and it's just heartbreaking. And Gary Oldman is unrecognizable. It's exactly what he did with Churchill, but 20 years earlier, and he is fantastic in the role. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did not know that's what it was about.
Yeah, man.
I knew the title, but I didn't know that was the story.
Yeah. So it's basically
that sounds good. I'd check that out.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so we may add that to the list, and that's one that we can do for movie swap. It's actually really good. That I would be good with. How about Speed? Right. So I mean, Keanu Reeves is the thing right now. Speed is fantastic. I think it still holds up. A lot of practical effects, which is great. It's
that's a really fun movie.
And it's another one that's very swift, right? Like it moves at a great pace, which is what I like. The tension kind of stays.
Dude, I'm just realizing, looking at this top 10 list, I only saw one of these movies in the theater. Clear and Present Danger. That's the only one I saw. The rest of them were all after the fact.
So I saw Interview with the Vampire, which I shouldn't have because it was rated R, but I loved it. I saw Dumb and Dumber. I saw Flintstones. I saw like 3 times. I saw Speed. I saw Mask probably like 3 times. And then I'm pretty sure I saw Forrest Gump, and I know I saw Lion King at least twice. But again, like this was my time, right? I didn't have a lot of responsibility at the time. I'm a teenager, so it's just a matter of if somebody could get me to the mall, I was going to the movies, and so
right.
So that's kind of how that worked. So that's kind of me. I mean, before we move to superlatives, and kind of wrap up, anything else? Like anything else? Catch your eye?
Not really, man. Let me throw out a couple movies that I'll call under the radar.
Okay.
Maybe I might start making this part of it.
Okay.
There's a movie called No Escape with Ray Liotta, which I thought was a pretty good little movie. It's like a convict island kind of thing.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Simple Twist of Fate with Steve Martin. Pretty good little movie.
Okay.
The Scout with Albert Brooks and Brendan Fraser is about a baseball scout. Pretty good.
I've never heard of that either.
That under the radar.
Yeah.
The River Wild with Meryl Streep and David Strathairn.
This is you pick these movies about outdoors. I don't like outdoors movies. Like if it's about outdoors, I don't want to watch it. River runs through it. Wild dragons. Okay. Whatever.
I gotcha. All right, I know what to.
Trees of Life.
I know what to add to the movie swap list.
Fishing in Yemen.
Kevin Bacon is in The River Wild also. So
none of it.
And then The War with Kevin Costner and I believe Elijah Wood is in that. Is a nice.
The War.
War.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that either.
It's about Kevin Costner's like a veteran, a war veteran, and his son is, I think he's getting, if I remember, he's getting bullied or he's trying to solve his own issues, and the dad kind of is. I don't really remember the whole story, but I remember enjoying the movie. So
that's good.
Anyway, there's a couple under the radar titles for you that I enjoyed.
I like it. For me, just the only under the radar I can think of is probably Flintstones. So definitely make sure you watch that because it's great. Very under the radar, but great.
I wish it was under the radar.
All right,
I shouldn't have brought it up. I'm a dummy. Okay.
Dude, Flintstones are great. So let's move on. So if you don't know what superlatives are, if you ever had a yearbook, you always have things like class clown or most likely to succeed or some bull like that. And so we thought we would do the same thing. When I say we, I mean Donnie. Donnie's much better at this kind of stuff. And so he's going to give us our 1994 movie superlatives.
Okay. You got it. Here we go.
All right.
Let's start with most athletic. Chris loves athletic movies. So you mentioned Major League 2.
Yeah.
You had Mighty Ducks 2 that year.
That's right.
As well.
D2 was, oh my gosh. That was a movie I loved as well. Because they do the We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You. Which is just so good.
So good. All right.
Dude, I loved Mighty Ducks, dude. I'm not even kidding. You got to remember, in 1994, how old am I? So I was 82. So I'm 12 years old in 1994. Wow, I mean, come on. Flintstones, Mighty Ducks, like these were my movies, man. Those are great. I love it.
Explains so much. You had Angels in the Outfield that year, baseball movie.
Yep. Oh yeah, Christopher Lloyd.
And what's the kid? Joseph
Gordon-Levitt. No.
He was the kid.
Is it Levitt? Gordon-Levitt?
Levinson?
Hang on, I'll look it up. Keep going.
We love movies. We just don't know anybody's name. You had The Air Up There was, I believe, Kevin Bacon movie where he's teaching basketball. You have the aforementioned Blue Chips.
It is Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
JGL. There you go. No relation to John Levitt.
No.
Blue Chips with Shaquille O'Neal and Nick Nolte. Not a good movie.
Oh, that's right. Shaq was that was why that was notable. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm going to give most athletic to a movie I've already mentioned. A movie called The River Wild about whitewater rafting.
You're the worst.
It's a good movie. It is an enjoyable movie. You would love it. You would absolutely love it.
I probably would.
Let's talk funniest movie. Let me give you a couple of
impossible
nominees here. You have City Slickers 2 that year, which is great.
It was good. It's not as good as the first.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
You have Santa Claus, which you've already mentioned, which is great. You have Naked Gun 33 1/3, which is
OJ's in this one.
Yep, he's in all three. Those are awesome.
They're always funny, yeah.
You have a movie called Cabin Boy. With Harrelson with Chris Elliott.
Oh, Chris Elliott. That's right. Yeah.
That movie cracked me up. It's most people have never heard of it. And then you have the Carrey trilogy, all three of them. I'm going to give the funniest award, though, to a movie we've already talked about, Dumb and Dumber. I don't know how you can beat it.
I mean, you can't.
Outright, laugh out loud stuff, man.
It is one of the funniest movies of all time.
And the thing about Dumb and Dumber, it is one of the funniest ever. And the thing about it is it covers every gamut of humor. Like it has the laugh out loud, just dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But it also has the subtle stuff going too for the cerebral, thinker.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Cutest Couple. I'm going to give you some thoughts on that.
Okay.
Forrest and Jenny, you mentioned them earlier.
Yeah.
Of course.
Jenny. Me and Jenny was like peas and carrots. Jenny, you're going to need some new sheets again.
Does he say that, or are you just making that
No.
up?
When he goes and visits her in college and they kiss for the first time, all they do is kiss. And then he's like,
Oh no!
you just see his face and you realize what happened. And he's like, "You're gonna need some new sheets, Shanna."
No, I do not remember that scene. Okay,
It's the best. Look
All
that
right.
up. That is a real life scene. I'm not making that up. It's hilarious.
okay. Cutest couple.
My other favorite part about Forrest Gump is when she does the naked singing, and then when she leaves the stage and she meets him, and he this is my favorite line in the entire movie. He says, "Jenai, they're sending me to Vietnam. It's this whole other country." Like, that's it. It's just like the delivery and the fact that he has to clarify that it's a whole other country is my favorite line in the movie. I love it.
All right. Ringing endorsements for Forrest Gump from Chris. Vincent and Jules from Pulp Fiction, the two hitmen.
Never seen it. Oh, but the cutest couple. That's funny.
Cutest couple. We're making jokes here.
They do some dancing too, right? Like John Travolta's known to dance.
He does some dancing with
Uma Thurman, right?
with her. I was trying to remember her name, but I can't remember her name.
Well,
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Harry and Lloyd, also an option.
oh
for
my
cutest
gosh,
couple.
they definitely win.
And I'm going to give the award, though, to Andy Dufresne and Rita Hayworth from The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, we didn't even really talk about Shawshank. Yeah.
We haven't yet, but we will.
We will. Yeah.
All right. Grossest movie.
No, not this one.
Pulp Fiction. There's a scene where someone is accidentally shot in the back of a vehicle, blowing their entire head off, exploding it all over the entire back seat of the car. And it gets worse because they have to clean it out. And there's a whole scene where they have to call in like people to come clean it, and it's a whole rough thing.
No.
Shawshank Redemption. Spoiler alert: at the end, he crawls through a tunnel of crap to escape prison and emerges.
I would just say in prison. I mean, like, how bad is prison really? Like, how bad is prison really? I mean, come on.
How bad? Yeah, it's not that bad. Dumb and Dumber toilet scene. I mean, come on. You could also throw the tongue scene on here, the frozen tongue.
Yeah, no,
that's pretty rough. Also,
that is rough.
But I'm going to give grossest award to Ace Ventura with the iconic line, "Einhorn is a man." Just leave. I'm gonna leave it at that. Finkel is Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is a man. Followed immediately by scraping of tongue, chewing of gum, showering,
all the gum,
toilet plunger to the mouth to pull out to purge.
Oh my gosh. I haven't watched Ace Ventura in a long time. I need to watch that. That movie is so good.
Yep.
When they go to the mental institution and he's playing
in
the tutu, it is so funny. And when he does
slow motion,
playing the slow motion.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna add one here that I didn't do before, and then we'll do our best of the year.
Know they did like a young Ace Ventura? Did you know that?
They did a cartoon.
No. I'm pretty sure they did a movie. All right, keep talking.
No, they did a young Dumb and Dumber movie when Harry met Lloyd.
Okay, keep talking. Go ahead.
Right, I'm going to do best moment.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
In the running here, you would have Shawshank's final scene where, spoiler alert, Andy meets up with Red on the beach. It's a pretty great moment. True Lies, there's a scene where his wife finds out that he is a government agent and kind of realizes that he's a killer and and he shares with her, but they were all bad, so that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, there's a scene where Vincent and Jules get an entire clip unloaded at them, and they are not hit at all. And it's kind of this, it's kind of like a divine moment, like literally, like the movie takes it as a divine thing.
Okay.
It's a pretty great scene. But I'm going to give my best moment of 94 to a scene in Clear and Present Danger. They are in a South American city in a cavalcade of Suburbans, Chevy Suburbans, and there's an ambush scene on those Suburbans that is unbelievably awesome. It is a great scene of tension.
Yep.
And just set up really well. It's really good stuff.
Yeah.
So
Same.
That's it on my superlatives. Besides the best movies of the year, which you and I are going to share.
That's right. I will say, you were talking about missing comedians. I miss Harrison Ford too. Like I loved Harrison Ford, but like the Harrison Ford we got in Force Awakens, that's like crazy, grumpy, old Harrison Ford that probably wears Depends. But like I miss like real, like straight up, bad A Harrison Ford. This was a real thing, by the way. This is called Ace Ventura: Pet Detective Jr. And
what?
So this is a kid.
That's a movie?
This is Ace Ventura when he was a kid. It's a made-for-TV movie. It came out in 2009.
That looks like the worst thing of all time.
It looks pretty bad. It came out in 2009. It is 93 minutes. It's a made-for-TV movie. There is a trailer, so I'll be sending that to you later so we can watch it. But
goody.
It is a real thing. So Ace Ventura Jr. But I mean, you got to get. I mean, look at this. Look at this kid. This kid has to be like 10 years old. Look at that hair, bro. Look at that hair. Come on, Ace Ventura. All right, so we're going.
It looks like a birth defect on his head or something.
We're going to end the show by ranking our top 3 movies of 1994. So that's where we are, and then we're going to wrap up. So I guess we'll just go round robin. I'll start. So real quick, just clarification. These are our 3 favorite movies. We're not saying that it's technically the best or whatever. These are our
watchable movies that we enjoy watching.
Correct. Number 3, Maverick.
Are you serious?
Dude, I love Maverick.
Mel Gibson?
Jodie Foster? Yes, I had the soundtrack. I think the music was great. I just think he's magic on screen. This is his heyday. I thought it was so much fun compared to those.
Are you putting me on right now?
Dude,
that's your top 3 from that.
I'm telling you, dude. We did a movie last week about Power Rangers. What do you want me to tell you?
It's tragic already.
Dude, I'm telling you, I love Maverick. It's the best.
Wow. Okay.
The whole entire movie is just twists. It's just twists and turns. I love it. It's great.
Okay, my number 3. I'm going to go with Clear and Present Danger.
Oh, that's a good one, though. That's a
great movie. Very tense, very suspenseful movie. I really enjoyed it tremendously.
Okay, next to Patriot Games, which one do you like more?
Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah.
I actually like Hunt for Red October more than Patriot Games.
Yeah, but you can't count. That's not a Harrison Ford one.
Well, there's only 2 Harrison Ford ones. I would take Clear and Present Danger and then Patriot Games.
Yeah. Okay. I'll accept.
You're up.
Is that no? Wait. Sean Bean is in Patriot Games. He's the guy. He's the bad guy in Patriot Games, right? Yeah.
He is one of them. Yes.
I liked that. I liked it. Okay, so number 2 for me, it has to be Lion King. I mean, you know that I'm a fan of Disney.
I figured it was on your list somewhere.
I think that it's probably here's the other part, right? Like Disney is known for their princesses, so they had 2 distinct movies in the 90s that weren't princess movies. And
let me guess.
Okay.
Lion King.
Yes.
Tarzan.
No, but you're right. I wasn't thinking of Tarzan. I think Tarzan was still 90s. I think it was like 98 or 99. Yeah.
Hercules.
I hated Hercules.
I've never seen any of them. So
yeah. No,
the ones
Hercules was in the 90s too, though. So that would count too. No, I mean typically, when you have your go-tos, you think of things like Little Mermaid, you think of Beauty and the Beast, you think of Pocahontas, you think of Mulan, which Mulan is my favorite, by the way, in case you're wondering. But you think of Aladdin. So it's Aladdin and Lion King. Like those were the ones that to me were standouts in the 90s because they weren't about princesses per se, even though you have Jasmine. But yeah, man, Lion King was great. The soundtrack was amazing. I love Elton John. Having Circle of Life, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Great songs. Hakuna Matata is still a song that today we sing with our kids, or we'll say that. Like it was just great. And so I know I saw Lion King at least 3 times in the theater. We had the VHS as soon as it came out. I bought it on DVD and on Blu-ray when it came out. Like I love Lion King. So there you go for me. I love the music. The music is so good.
All right. My number 2 is going to be Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's good.
Great movie.
It's a good one.
Love it. It's just a great drama. Yeah, I don't know. It's based on a Stephen King book. One of the few good ones from page to screen. And
also, for him, not very horror.
Not at all horror related.
I mean, Prison's I guess kind of horrific, but yeah, it's not a horror movie at all. It's not supernatural really in any way, which is great.
Supernatural stuff. It's good.
Shawshank's not on my list, but I would probably say this. I think of all the movies, even the ones that we've talked about and the ones that made all the money, I might argue that the best movie of 1994 is Shawshank Redemption. I think it is a near perfect movie. I think it has it has a great heart and great emotion and yeah, I think it's good. I think it's acted great. I think Tim Robbins is it's Tim Robbins, right? Tim Robbins, that's his name, right? Yeah, and then Morgan Freeman. Yeah, I think that they're excellent. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan, but it's not on my list. But I do love it. It's great.
All right, okay. You're number 1.
So that brings me number 1, which I think we've already covered quite a bit. But
oh my gosh.
Has to be the Flintstones. No, it's not really. No, it's not really. It's not really. Although it almost made my top 3. I do love Flintstones, but no, I mean it's got to be Dumb and Dumber. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if you told me I could only watch one movie from 1994 ever again, I could watch Dumb and Dumber on repeat every day, and I would still laugh hilariously at it when when they put the peppers in the burger. Like, watch out some of that burger. It's the best.
It is the best.
It is an infinitely watchable movie. And
agreed. Yes, it never gets old. Which is why it is one of my number 1s. It is Dumb and Dumber. I'm sorry, but I couldn't do it. And my other number 1, my number 1 with Dumb and Dumber is Pulp Fiction.
Oh, see,
Pulp Fiction is, you talk about highly watchable, you talk about plot twists, you talk about a story that is intricately woven together by all these crazy, like, just vignettes, man, of different lives coming together in one thing. It's so good, man. You gotta. It may be your next movie.
I was reading an article today, because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is out now, and I was reading an article just kind of about Tarantino and about his movies, and they were just saying that of all the great things that he's done, all the achievements, like he has never surpassed Pulp Fiction. Like that is still the pinnacle of what he's brought to filmmaking.
It is incredible storytelling, man. It really is. It's top notch, and it's
I feel like
highly entertaining.
I feel like it can't live up to that hype at this point. So I'm interested to watch it to see how.
You thought Band of Brothers couldn't live up to it either.
I know, and I was wrong. All right, so there you go. There you go. There's 1994, kind of in a recap. There
it is.
Movies. There is our superlatives. It's been fun. It's been productive. It's a great year. There are some great movies there. It definitely is the year of Jim Carrey. If you've never seen Ace Ventura or Dumb and Dumber, you need to watch those movies. Absolutely. If you've never seen the Flintstones, I would just say hold off. Wait till we do it on Movie Swap, then watch it, because we are going to do it. And
you made me cry, man.
And it's going to be amazing because that movie is fantastic. So yeah, and then also like shout out to Maverick. Like, why didn't we talk about Maverick? Is so good. So if you
it's really Maverick, it's really not,
and it's so good.
I saw that in the theater, and
why do you not think it's good? It's so good. Jodie Foster. I love
Mel Gibson. I think Jodie Foster was out of her element in that movie. I thought she was totally miscast.
Yeah, because she's too girly. She's trying to be too girly. What?
Yeah, that's not who she is.
Who's the? I forget. I'm blanking on the guy's name. The guy. The other. Yeah, James Garner. Oh, so good. He was great in it. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I thought it was great.
I like James Garner, and I love Mel Gibson. But that movie never came together.
What are those boats called? Steamboats? Is that
Steamboat.
What they're called? Yeah, like Steamboat, like poker. Like I love it. I thought it was.
Well,
great.
the setting is great. I just didn't feel like it came together.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Whatever.
All right, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming along with us on a journey through 1994.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we said this last time. Like, if there's a year you'd like to hear us talk about and break down, you can hit us up on our Facebook group or on Twitter. Let us know, and we'll add it into the rotation. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to go next. I kind of feel like we need to go either one of two ways. I feel like we need to go pretty early, so like 60s or 70s, or go like super recent, like 2017. So we'll probably do one of those two extremes, but we'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Right.
Next week we are back with another movie, another time travel movie, which we can't remember right now. So I will try to time travel later.
Let's get this act together, man. Come on.
Tell you. I'll try to time travel later and become my own father. Is that possible? Because Kyrie's did it. So that's it for 1994. That is it for Donnie and myself. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Later.